Okay, writers, so you have been drafting your idea for fantasy writing. And one thing I want to teach you today is that when you go to write your beginning, or in this case, revise your beginning, you want to give hints and clues as to what's going to happen, right? There's a few ways that we can do this. They're listed up here. You could use internal thinking. It might sound something like this. I wondered, or I noticed, or I thought to myself. You could have actions of the characters. You could have a description of the characters that gives a hint or a clue as to what's going to happen. You could use the setting to play around with that idea of giving a hint. And lastly, you could use dialogue. And I think of when we wrote our class fantasy, we started with dialogue and giving a hint or a clue. Can you think back to what those characters' names were that we created in our fantasy? Remember, one character said, I hate school, and the other character said, why? Do you remember their names? Remember?
I know the main character was Addie, but I don't know what the other.
So we had Addie, the main character, saying, I hate school. So that's our hint already that she doesn't want to be there. And then we tried another strategy. You didn't even know this. We went into the action of the character. She then shoved herself in the locker to avoid going back to class, which is hinting towards the problem later on where she gets stuck in the locker and the locker becomes a portal to a whole other world. So through dialogue and action, we gave hints to the reader as to what was going to happen. Another fun one to try is setting. So if you were ever to watch a movie and you heard thunder and lightning, or you saw thunder and lightning in a movie, typically what's going to happen is something bad. Do you ever notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like when somebody dies, it always starts raining.
Exactly.
It's kind of annoying.
It is kind of annoying, but it's giving you a hint. And you can do the same things in your story. Right now I want you to look at the beginning of your story in your draft. Think about what are some ways could you revise that using these strategies to hint towards what the problem might be. And with the person next to you, just share an idea of how you think you might try one of these strategies to give a hint or a clue as to what the problem might be.
I'm gonna do the setting thing.
Everyone gets Did you guys see that? Did you guys see the photo?
Right now, not the
Oh, where the four people going to
I'm gonna rewrite my story.
It's like, if I use setting, it's going to cut down I have it in here, yeah, but I can't. People get to
Like Diana, Wonder Woman, Scarlet.
Go see if there's anyone that doesn't have a partner or go
But
join
I
your
might.
retreat or free, okay?
Oh, I did. I did
A lot of like
my parents make other things for like
they're all greasy, so we
I found it. And
silky.
On that first page, I don't see
That's like Christmas picture. So it is I mean, no, poetry.
So writers, I'm hearing some good ideas. Now, don't be afraid that if you started one way, let's say you started with description, and you think that maybe you're starting to hint towards that, today I want you to try something new on a separate page, like another way that you could start this, giving a hint or a clue as to what the problem is. In the end, you may not even go with what you tried today, but at least you're trying a different strategy. So it sounds like, from the groups that I went to, like you have a plan of which one of these you're going to try. Try to blend what you have with a new strategy. That's what our goal is today. Try a new strategy, giving hints and clues. Okay? Writers, you can choose to write here or back at your tables. Go ahead, guys. So right now we're going at the beginning. When that's done, then you can go back and
Absent the name like this. So you should probably just start.
right? And now this is weird.
You want me to like move the camera around? So I have a view of everyone? Yes.
We're kind of, I'm thinking, we're ready to,
So I'm going to do at your,
I think we're
you do at your desk.